What is up, homies, and welcome to Homemade Everything. We're still working on this 4-day tractor. We've had some good success on some good progress going, I guess, on the ignition side. Got a 12-volt battery in there last night. I got a new distributor. Well, it's rebuilt, and I put a 12-volt coil in there. I turned it over, and I saw one spark, and I felt it because I forgot to ground out the spark plug real well. What I'm going to do today is finish up that ignition side of everything. What that consists of is a little bit of wiring management here and there, and then, sorry, I just got a text. All right, I apologize. A little bit of wiring management, and then I need to basically uninstall and reinstall the distributor in time. I just stuck it in there so that I would have an oil pump because there's a gear on it. Anyways, long story short, I wanted to see if it would spark at all. Didn't care about timing, just wanted to see if it would spark. I got spark. Now we need to get spark in time with top dead center. So, all right, I thought you might want to see this. It's kind of cool. I got this inspection hole cover open. Look at all this grime in here. Gross. All right, so see in that hole, there's those teeth. That's the flywheel. There should be some timing marks somewhere on that flywheel. So I'm gonna reach up here. This is not safe to do, to use this fan to rotate the motor by, but I'm gonna do it. I'm not recommending you do it. Hey, there we go. But the reason you wouldn't want to do it is because of if your ignition is left on, these old motors can turn over easily and then start by themselves. So there's 0. So that should be like top dead center. Somewhere in like right here should be exactly where we need to go. I'm just gonna assume that 0 is good. I'm gonna pull this out. I'm gonna stab it back in with the rotor pointed to cylinder number 1, and then we will figure out, I think it just goes 1, 2, 4, 3, or something like that. We'll figure it out. All right, so I've got the distributor back in how I like it, I think. We'll see once I crank it up. Well, we need to get fuel to this thing too, but we'll see if it runs at all. This is an old grommet that just kind of holds the wires together, and I think that's kind of important. Keep wires out of where they're not supposed to be, off of the header. Gets a little hot sometimes due to the exhaust. My coil wire is just touching the gas tank, and I hate that, but oh well. It'll probably be fine. Or fire. It'll probably be fine. All right, I know it's a little dark. I didn't want the light on right now because I want y'all to be able to see spark if I did my job right. We have spark at least. Cylinder number 2. Good spark. And numero uno, our hurting cylinder. Hopefully we can at least give her some good lightning. All right. Uh-oh. That's not good. Something just happened to our starter. Yeah, we just burned up our starter or something. We just burned up our starter. I'm not even giving it that much use. Like it's not fighting spark plugs. All right, it is possibly 70 years old. Barely turning over. Something's grinding in that starter. I wonder if there's a starter clutch. It sounds like something's slipping. That's really weird. All right, we are going to, I just decided since that starter's giving me problems, I need to probably go get a new one. I don't know, I'll tear it out in a second. I'm gonna finish up the ignition side of stuff by just throwing spark plugs in the holes. And after we do everything on this tractor, we'll put new spark plugs in it too. After we get the carb tuned right, because we're gonna gum these up, I'm sure. All right, so as far as gapping spark plugs, they need to have an exact gap, and those all look exact. Perfect. All right, so I'm happy to say that, oh, do I have a unibrow? I do, that looks good. I'm happy to say that all of these spark plugs are in place. Oh crap, I don't know if I tightened the front one in. All right, I need to check on that, but all the wires are plugged in and everything. So ignition is good to go. We need to mess with timing, but we don't know as far as like fine tune timing where it needs to go until this thing is running and we can listen to it and play with it and put it under a load and go from there. So that's after so much work. So ignition is officially done. And I'm really happy about that because I hate ignition work, but functions well. I don't know, I need to check one thing. All right, I need to get to work before I forget things. I need to check to make sure that 1, 2, 4, 3 is correct, and I need to check and make sure that's tight. And then we'll go work on the, crap, what were we gonna do? All right, 1, 2, 4, 3, make sure that's tight, and then, oh, starter. We'll go tackle the starter. All right, guys, so we were playing with the ignition. I was turning it over, trying to get spark. I did get spark. I did check the 1, 2, 4, 3. That is a correct firing order. These are just so cute. Look at these little, I don't know what these are, but look at these little doors. They're so cute. Focus. They're so cute. They just open up. I don't know what they're for. They're so cute. All right. Anyways, so we have 12 volts hooked up to an original starter, I think original. It is not handling that. It is, here, watch. See that not turning? That's a problem. So either we stripped a gear or, I really don't know what could have just gone wrong. But let's pull that starter off, let's take a look at it. I don't really know much about starters. We may just throw a new one in here and go from there. I don't know. All I know is it currently doesn't start, so let's tear it apart. I'm gonna pull the starter first and then look at the back side of it and see if it'd be easier to remove the wires after this big old heavy thing is sitting there dangling and I have to hold it up while removing wires instead of doing it right now like a smart person. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Why would you not? Yeah, there we go. Come on, baby. What are we hitting? I think I need to get the oil filter housing and the breather out of the way. Give me a minute. I'm getting prettier by the second. I just spent about 15.5 minutes searching for this. I had put it back in the tool chest where it belongs. Found it. All right, let's rip this starter out of here now that this oil reservoir is, or oil filter housing is loose. Oh yeah, that's heavy. Got it though. I don't know what these are supposed to look like. But, well, I hope that there's nothing messed up in there. I hope this is just a bad starter or something. I don't know how to tell either, and I don't know if the new starter is going to come with all this. I guess it would, right? Huh. Well, make a phone call to the parts store and see what we can get. Cool, so after a little bit of research, this right here is called the Bendix of the starter, and what it does is it has a spring that goes on here, and it basically is a clutch that when you say start, it engages this motor and the shaft with these gears on your flywheel teeth, because it's just a big gear. Anyways, we are missing some parts. There will be a big washer and a C-clip at least. I think that's all. Problem is, they are in there. They are in there. So, the starter's actually good. The Bendix fell apart. I think I'm gonna buy the new style Bendix. They say they're better. And I guess in the meantime, I'll rebuild my starter or something like that, but pretty upset, but it's one of those things that happens with projects like this, and because of the way that you and I are doing this project together, I'm not too upset about it. If I was trying to get this thing back up and running so I could be a farmer with it, I'd be super stressed out. But now I'm just like, dang it, that sucks. Oh well, it's more work to do. The only problem that I really see is I have no way to get those parts out without splitting the tractor, or I heard a really good tip. They said pull the steering gearbox and you can reach in there and get stuff. So I think our steering gearbox is coming off. I think that'd be easiest. The rest of this is kind of hard to get to, so I think it's time. I didn't want to take that off until we were going to paint, but if I'm not going to leave parts in there by that flywheel. I read online, somebody was like, honestly, I had the same problem, and I just left them in there, threw new stuff in there. I've never heard any grinding or anything like that, but I don't think I can risk that, and I don't think it's that hard to take the hood off, because the hood will come off with, so also I don't have any wires hooked up to these, so I don't have to worry about that. The radiator is currently not hooked up to the engine. The gas tank doesn't need to be hooked up to the engine because I need to unhook it and fix a bunch of things and carburetor and stuff. So I don't think that's that big of an issue taking all that off, because that's all connected, gas tank and headlights and such, and radiator. And then I'll take this off, the dash piece, which is not a part of the gearbox, but then the gearbox after that, and I don't know, like, I think that's not the worst idea. A lot of that needs to come off anyways, so gosh, that's adding so much work. But again, it's like this is the first time it's ever felt this way. Like, I'd normally be so upset right now. But let's get to work. Let's have fun. It's gonna be awesome.